Don't waste your energy trying to change someone who enjoys being toxic. The more you feed their fire, the more you burn. Let's not sugarcoat it, my friends. Some people are like emotional termites. They don't bite at once. They slowly eat away at your foundation. And if you don't stop them early, one day you wake up and realize you're standing in ruins that you politely allowed them to build. This video is not about blaming others. It's about finally doing something smarter, something stronger. It's about taking your peace back, piece by piece. If you're ready to cut the strings of manipulation, guilt-tripping, gaslighting, and emotional leeching, then do me a favor right now. Smash that like button, subscribe, and stay with me till the end. Because this isn't just a video, this is your emotional reset. Hey folks, imagine this. You're carrying a backpack. At first it's light. A little criticism here, a rude comment there. A few digs disguised as jokes. "Oh, lighten up, I was just teasing," they say, after tossing another stone into your pack. You keep walking, convincing yourself you can carry it. You tell yourself, they didn't mean it. Maybe they're going through something. I just need to be more patient. But day by day, stone by stone, your back starts to break. You weren't weak, my friend. You were just too kind. And here's the lie they never tell you. Kindness without boundaries becomes a breeding ground for toxicity. People test limits, not because they're evil, but because many are wired to take what's not defended. So when you let that emotional backpack keep filling up, it's not long before you're dragging yourself through a life that should have been free, peaceful, and light. And here's the kicker. Toxic people rarely look toxic at first. They smile, they charm, they play victim. And if you're an empathetic soul, they see you as their next opportunity. They won't always attack you with fists. No, they'll use silence, manipulation, subtle guilt, and that slow, dripping sarcasm that makes you question your own worth. But today, we're done with that game, because here's another truth. You don't need to fight toxic people. You need to stop feeding them. The Stoics taught this long before psychology had a name for it. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. In other words, when they go low, don't respond with hate. Respond with power. With silence, with strategy, with stillness. We're not here to play victim, we're here to get smart. We're going to explore 7 clever Stoic-backed strategies to deal with toxic people, and not just deal with them, but leave them powerless. Yes, it's going to feel hard at first, because toxic people build a web, and you're the fly they hope stays confused just long enough to be devoured. But once you see the pattern, once you realize what's happening, you'll never look at them the same again. And the beautiful thing, you don't need to scream. You don't need to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You just need to move different, detach differently, observe differently, respond differently. Because when your energy becomes unpredictable, their control crumbles. So if you're ready to build that mental fortress, if you're ready to walk away with peace instead of pain, if you're ready to stop trying to heal people who keep cutting you, then say it with me in the comments. I choose my peace. Type it, claim it, own it. This is your shift. And if this already feels like the message you didn't know you needed, then again, hit that like button, press subscribe, and stay with me. Because what comes next isn't just clever, it's liberating. Number 1, withdraw your emotional oxygen. Toxic people don't want love. They want control. And the moment you stop reacting, you stop existing in their world. Let me be blunt, my friends. They don't need your kindness. They need your reaction. That's their real addiction. They survive off it. Like emotional vampires, they don't suck your blood. They suck your peace, your time, your focus, your sleep. Every time you get upset, explain yourself, defend your intentions, cry, yell, rant, they win. Not because you're weak, but because you gave them the one thing they were dying to steal, your emotional oxygen. Imagine you're standing in a room, and there's a fire raging in the center. It's wild, uncontrollable, and it's burning everything around you. What's your instinct? Most people panic, throw water, scream, rush around. But what if I told you the smartest move is to seal off the room and let the fire burn itself out? Because without oxygen, fire dies. Toxic people are the same. They don't expect silence. They expect your fire. They want that argument, that message back, that desperate, "Why are you doing this to me?" Because then they know you're still under their spell, still affected, still reachable, still bleeding. But the second you stop giving them emotional oxygen, they start gasping, not you. Now I know what some of you are thinking. But what if I say nothing and they think they won? Or doesn't silence mean I'm giving up? Let me flip that lie on its head. Silence isn't weakness, it's psychological dominance. In Stoic terms, it's called mastery over impulse. And in war, yes, emotional war included, the strongest move isn't always louder. It's colder, more precise, more calculated. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That quote alone has stopped me from texting back 1,000 words to people who didn't deserve a single syllable. Because reacting gives away the one thing you should never hand out for free, your power. They expect you to explain, so don't. They expect you to cry, so don't. They expect you to chase, to plead, to lower yourself into their pit. But my friends, you are not a prisoner, and silence is your exit. Now this isn't easy. I'm not pretending it is. The mind will scream, "Say something." The heart will whisper, "Maybe they'll finally understand if I just..." But you need to know this. Toxic people don't hear your pain. They hear your permission. The more you react, the more they know they still have access to your inner world. So cut the cord, close the valve, let them suffocate, not literally but emotionally, in the vacuum of your silence. Withdraw your oxygen, not to punish them, but to preserve yourself. Because here's the deeper truth: toxic people only win when you play. And you're not here to play games, you're here to rise. And trust me, once you start walking in silence, once you start holding your energy like it's gold, people start noticing. The noise around you fades, the chaos starts unraveling, and those who used to control you with a single word, they start looking lost, confused, powerless, because you're no longer feeding the fire. You've become the water. So tell me, my friends, are you ready to reclaim that energy? Then I want you to type this in the comments right now like you mean it. My silence is power. Show them, show yourself. Show the world that you are no longer feeding what was meant to drain you. Stay with me, because what's coming next will teach you how to not just remove toxic energy, but how to replace it with power, peace, and purpose. And trust me, they won't know what hit them. Number 2, turn pain into precision. Toxic people don't break you. They reveal where you haven't healed. Let's get real, folks. Sometimes the worst thing someone ever did to you was the best thing that could have happened because it opened your eyes. Pain, as brutal as it feels, is not your enemy. Confusion is. Denial is. Hoping someone changes while they keep bleeding you dry, that's the real trap. Pain is a flashlight. It shows you the leak. It tells you exactly where you've been giving too much to people who deserve nothing at all. Picture this. You're driving a car, but the check engine light's been flashing for weeks. You ignore it. You keep pushing. It's fine, you say. Until one day, the engine dies in the middle of nowhere. That's what happens when you ignore emotional red flags. Toxic people are your check engine light. Every insult, every mind game, every time they make you question your worth. It's a signal. But here's the thing. Most people don't want to see it. They'd rather believe the illusion than face the disruption. And I get it. The idea that someone you trusted, someone you laughed with, opened up to, maybe even loved, could be the one chipping away at your soul. That's not easy to accept. So what do? We minimize it. They didn't mean it. They're just going through something. Maybe it's me. No, my friend, it's not you, and it never was. The truth is, toxic people don't show up wearing a sign that says, "Here to destroy your peace." They come with smiles, with charm, with "I was just kidding" and "You're too sensitive." But if you're paying attention, not just listening to their words but watching their patterns, you'll start to see the truth. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the turning point, when pain becomes precision. When you stop reacting emotionally and start observing intelligently. When you stop trying to change them and start studying them. You shift from being the prey to the quiet observer. You go from "Why did they do this to me?" to "So that's who they really are." And the best part? You get stronger, wiser, more aware. You start building filters. You begin asking better questions. Does this person bring clarity or chaos? Do I feel seen or drained after talking to them? Are they lifting me or just leaning on me until I collapse? Seneca once said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." When pain shows up, most people resist it, fight it, cry about it. But the Stoic leans in, learns from it, extracts wisdom like gold from dirt, because pain is the tuition you pay for real awareness. It's the price of sharpness, and once you're sharp, you stop falling for the dull games. But let me warn you, this shift isn't easy. It means admitting you were wrong about some people. It means letting go of the fantasy version of someone you cared about. It means seeing clearly what you were once desperate to blur out. And that takes courage. But you've got it. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. When you stop taking their behavior personally and start seeing it as data, you become bulletproof. Not cold, not bitter, just aware, calm, strategic. You no longer say, "Why are they doing this to me?" Instead, you say, "Interesting. They do this to everyone." And in that moment, your healing begins. So the next time someone tries to bait you into a fight, manipulate your empathy, or guilt trip you for having standards, don't get pulled in. Zoom out. Watch them like a character in a movie. Observe their patterns. Use their behavior as your curriculum. Because every time they try to hurt you, they're also teaching you how to rise above them. Remember this, my friends. They're not your downfall. They're your detector. And I want you to write this in the comments right now to lock it in. My pain made me wiser. Not just to say it, but to own it. Because this journey isn't about being a victim. It's about becoming so self-aware that no toxic person can ever blindside you again. Stay with me. What's coming next is going to show you how to build a wall they can't climb and a peace they can't steal. Let's keep rising. Number 3, guard your peace like a fortress. If you don't protect your peace, someone else will come along and destroy it, for fun, for control, or just because they can. Let's talk about something sacred. No, not a temple, not a treasure chest. I'm talking about your peace, your mental clarity, your emotional center, that place in your soul where life finally feels calm. And my friends, if you don't guard that peace like it's under constant siege, someone will sneak in and wreck it like it was theirs to ruin. You ever seen those castles with towering stone walls and deep moats? They weren't built because the king was paranoid. They were built because peace was precious, because history proved over and over that enemies don't knock, they invade. That's exactly how toxic people operate. They test your gates. They poke at your boundaries. "Oh, I didn't think it would bother you. Relax, I was just messing around." They throw little pebbles until you let them all the way in. And once they're inside, they don't sit quietly. They rearrange your furniture. They criticize your walls. They demand your time, your energy, your attention, and then act like you're the unreasonable one for needing space. But here's the truth. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. Every time you let something slide, you're rewriting the rules of your own castle. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but if I set boundaries, won't they think I'm being mean or distant? Let me ask you this. Would you rather be liked by people who use you or respected by people who uplift you? You can't have both, because toxic people don't respect easy access. They respect locked doors. And yes, setting boundaries is hard, especially if you're used to being the one who always says yes, the peacemaker, the listener, the one who lets the call go on for hours while your own problems drown in silence. But that version of you, it's tired, it's stretched thin, it's ready for an upgrade. You don't have to be rude to protect your peace, you just have to be clear. Start small. That friend who always dumps their problems on you, you don't have to fix their life. Try this. "I hear you. What do you think you'll do about it?" Watch them pause. That's your first wall going up. That family member who criticizes everything from your job to your clothes. Smile. Nod. Say nothing. That's not submission. It's control. Because silence removes the fuel from their fire. You're not giving them what they want. An argument, a reaction, a piece of your peace. One time, I had someone in my life who thought my time was their playground. Constant texts, calls, drama. I used to reply instantly, even when I was busy. Why? Because I didn't want to seem cold. But then I realized my kindness had no border. It was wide open, and they were taking full advantage. So I did the unthinkable. I stopped replying right away. I answered when I was ready, not when they demanded. And guess what? The sky didn't fall. But the control they thought they had? That crumbled fast. Because here's what toxic people hate more than anything: being locked out of your emotional space. As the Stoics say, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your peace doesn't come from other people changing. It comes from you stopping the leaks, plugging the holes, standing at the gate of your own life and saying, "No more, not here." You don't owe anyone unlimited access, not friends, not co-workers, not even family. And if that sounds harsh, good, because life will not hand you peace. You have to build it, protect it, and defend it daily. So, if you're ready to draw the line, not out of anger, but out of self-respect, then I want you to type this in the comments. My peace is protected. Write it like it's law, because once your peace is guarded, your decisions get sharper, your energy lasts longer, your days get lighter, and those who once thrived on your chaos, they'll either back off or reveal who they really were all along. And that's exactly what you need to see. Stay close, my friends, because next, we're about to expose one of the most powerful tools you have, and it's something they never see coming. Number 4. Respond with strategic silence. The loudest response to disrespect is silence wrapped in self-control. There's a moment, folks, a split second, right after someone disrespects you, insults you, or pushes your boundaries. And in that space, the whole game is decided. Do you react? Do you explode? Do you defend yourself again, hoping this time they'll get it? Or do you do what truly rattles them to the core? Say nothing, and let your silence echo louder than their chaos. Let's be clear, silence is not weakness. It's not avoidance. It's not running away, it's power. Strategic silence is the ancient Stoic move that toxic people still don't know how to handle. Why? Because they expect your reaction. That's their fuel. That's how they measure their control over you. The moment you stop giving them a reaction is the moment they realize they're no longer in your head. Picture this. You're in a boxing ring. The bell rings. Your opponent is swinging wild, desperate for contact, trying to land anything, jabs, insults, guilt trips, whatever they've got. But instead of swinging back, you lower your gloves. You step aside. You turn and walk out of the ring. That's silence. You didn't lose the fight. You refused to fight in their circus. And trust me, nothing leaves them more confused or powerless. Toxic people can argue with your words, twist them, spin them into their favor. But they can't argue with silence. Silence makes them face themselves. And if there's one thing toxic people hate, it's their own reflection. Now, I know what you're thinking. But if I don't say anything, won't they think I'm okay with it? Let me crush that lie right here. You don't need to explain your silence to people who never listened to your voice in the first place. Strategic silence doesn't say, I'm okay with this. It says, I see you, I've studied you, and I no longer entertain you. I had someone once who always wanted to provoke me. Subtle digs, sarcastic comments, public jabs that masked deeper intentions. And for a while, I played along. I clapped back. I tried to be witty, to defend myself, to stand my ground, but every word I gave them was like a coin dropped into their machine. It kept the game going, until one day. I said nothing. I just smiled, calm, centered, no reaction. They paused. Then they repeated themselves louder, trying to bait me. Still, nothing. And folks, I wish I could have bottled the look on their face. That moment they realized the puppet strings weren't attached anymore. The Stoics didn't teach silence as passivity. They taught it as discipline. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That means when someone says something offensive, you don't have to absorb it. When someone tries to drag you into drama, you don't have to participate. When someone expects you to lower yourself just to get a reaction, you stay silent. And that silence, that's you revoking their access. But let me tell you, this isn't easy at first. Your ego wants to clap back. Your pride wants to prove a point. Your emotions want justice. But strategic silence isn't about pride or ego. It's about choosing peace over provocation. It's about playing the long game. And the long game, it always favors the one who doesn't get pulled into emotional traps. So next time someone disrespects you, don't fire back with anger. Fire back with absence. Don't prove your worth with arguments. Prove it by no longer showing up to defend yourself to people who already decided not to understand you. Because silence is not just the absence of sound, it's the presence of power. It says, you no longer control the tempo here, I do. So let's lock it in. I want you to write this in the comments like a vow to your future self. My silence is my power. That's it. 4 words. Say it. Type it. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that you don't need to raise your voice to raise your standards. And stay with me, because in the next part, we're going to turn the tables completely, and I'll show you a move so clever, it'll leave them speechless before you even say a word. Number 5. Disarm them with unpredictable calm. They want chaos. Give them stillness. That's how you win. Toxic people live for the spark. They poke, prod, and provoke, not because they want truth, but because they crave control. They want you flustered. They want to see you twitch, snap, lose your cool. Why? Because the moment you react, they know they've still got strings to pull. But what happens when you don't flinch? Imagine this. A storm rages outside, thunder, lightning, winds howling. But inside, you're calm, sitting in your chair, watching it pass. That's what unpredictable calm looks like. It confuses the storm. It throws off the drama. One time someone made a snide comment at me in a meeting, meant to humiliate, to spark confrontation. Instead of biting, I smiled and said, "That's an interesting take," and moved on. No defense, no emotion, just stillness. You could feel the air shift. They were left standing there with a punch that never landed. You see, toxic people don't know what to do when you don't follow the script, when you're not predictable, when your calm becomes a mirror they can't crack. And this isn't about playing nice, it's about psychological power, stoic power. Seneca once said, "A sword never kills anybody, it is a tool in the killer's hand." The same is true with words. Their comments don't hurt, your response does. When you stay calm, you rob them of the satisfaction they were hunting for. You don't need to raise your voice, you just need to master your energy. And look, calm doesn't mean you're okay with their behavior. It means you're above it. It means you're operating on a different level, untouchable. You become the person who walks away smiling while they're left stewing in their own chaos. So the next time they try to bait you, don't give them the show they want. Give them stillness. Give them mystery. Let them wonder what's really going on in your mind. And if you're ready to start playing that level of power, I want you to write this in the comments. I stay calm. I stay in control. Let that be your signature. Because calm isn't passive, it's lethal. And what's coming next will teach you how to spot the games before they even begin. Number 6. Observe their patterns, not their promises. They won't tell you who they are, they'll show you. Watch closely. Let's make something clear, folks. Words are cheap. Promises, even cheaper. Toxic people are masters of performance. They'll say what you want to hear, when you want to hear it, but their actions always expose the truth. You don't need to decode their excuses. You need to track their patterns. Think of it like this. You're watching a magician on stage. They wave their hands, distract the crowd, make it all look dazzling. But a real observer, they're not watching the show. They're watching the sleight of hand. The trick is always in the pattern, not the promise. Toxic people do the same. "I'm sorry. I'll change. I didn't mean it." And yet, they repeat the same behavior again and again. Different words, same damage. And we let it slide because we want to believe in the illusion. We want the good version of them to be the real one. But here's the Stoic truth. You don't judge a tree by the fruit it promises. You judge it by what it consistently produces. You're not cold for noticing someone's behavior. You're wise. You're done falling for the glitter of their words, because people lie, but patterns don't. So start paying attention. Are they always the victim? Do they always twist things back onto you? Do they disappear when you need them, but expect you to be on call 24/7? These aren't accidents, they're patterns. And the more you observe without emotion, the clearer they become. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That's not just advice for you, it's a filter for them. If someone's not doing what they claim to value, believe the behavior, not the script. And here's your next move. Stop giving them credit for potential. Start holding them accountable for patterns. Type this in the comments right now to claim it. I trust patterns, not promises. Say it out loud. Show the world you're no longer fooled by sweet words and shallow sorries. You see through the performance, and you're just getting started. The next move, that's when everything changes. Number 7, build a life they can't touch. The best revenge is not revenge. It's rising so high they can't even reach you. Listen closely, my friends. The ultimate power move isn't blocking them. It's not one last text. It's not exposing them. It's building a life that no longer includes them. A life so full, so focused, so purpose-driven that their chaos feels like a whisper in your rearview mirror. Toxic people don't just want to hurt you. They want to distract you from your goals, from your peace, from your growth. Because as long as you're caught up in their drama, you're not becoming who you're meant to be. That's the real theft. But the moment you shift your attention back to you, everything starts changing. You start showing up differently. You stop explaining, stop chasing, stop proving. You're no longer trying to escape their world because you've outgrown it. Your focus becomes your weapon, your silence becomes your shield, your success becomes your closure. And the beauty is, you don't have to tell them a thing. Just move, quietly, daily, powerfully. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. In other words, don't prove your worth. Build it, live it, breathe it. So from this moment on, you stop giving them power. You start giving yourself a life they can't poison, interrupt, or even access. If you're ready to make that shift, write this in the comments right now. My life is mine. Say it like a vow. Type it like a declaration. Let the world see it. And if this message hit home, like the video, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to reclaim their power, just like you are right now. This isn't just about dealing with toxic people. This is about becoming untouchable. Let's build that life together.